in international waters. Now, for the second half of the show, which we call From the Pages, we browse the papers, the newspapers. We bring you stories from the front pages. We often have a public affairs analyst to provide some needed perspective on some of these stories. And all through this, you are an active participant of the show by contributing on our social media pages. So if you would like to contribute today, take note of the channels through which you can do so. You can do so via Facebook, where we're currently live streaming at Splash FM 106.7. You can comment in the comment section there. You can also do so via our Twitter page, simply at us. That's at Splash FM 1067, and use our hashtag as you tweet your reaction. The hashtag is Panorama on Splash. That's hashtag Panorama on Splash. And finally, for social media, that is, the number you can send a message to on WhatsApp is 0817 555 1067. That's 0817 555 1067. Welcome once again. My name is Lola Meduteni.
It's a pleasure to have you join us this beautiful Tuesday morning. The weather is still cold, and many people are asking why it looks like the sun has not shone for.
I'm telling you, someone is holding the rain hostage. I was still saying it on Twitter yesterday.
Yeah, I think I saw that yesterday.
It's like a mild shower and then it just retreats. But you can tell there's more. The clouds want to let out more rain, but
I'm sure one of these days,
manifesting as this chilly weather that we're having.
Yes, it's been really chilly. So my condolences to everyone that is not married, or if your spouse is not with you. Well, that's just on a lighter note. Welcome to Panorama this morning. We appreciate you. Thank you very much for joining us. Today promises to be another enlightening and engaging time on radio, as we try our best, just like Lola said, to bring issues to the fore and try to bring them apart, trying to make some sense out of some of these issues. We have experts, sometimes public affairs analysts, to help us make sense of these issues. So welcome to the program. My name is Buyega Olani. And don't forget that on Tuesdays, we have our friends from the Ogun State Health Insurance Agency. They join us during the second half of the show from 9:30 to 10. And today will not be any different. Thank you for joining Panorama today.
That's right. Make sure you listen all the way. You know that every minute on the show is worth it. So from 9:30, yes, I neglected to mention that we'll definitely be having, as Boyga has said, our friends from the Ogun State Health Insurance Agency to talk about health insurance for all Ogun State residents. You can also take note of our website and app should you have any business out of town and still want to catch up with your favorite programs. We have a website, www.splashfm1067.com, and there's a neat feature on that website that allows you to listen live. That's right, any part of the country, any part of the world even, to listen live there. And you can download our app on your phone app stores. Simply search for Splash FM and you'll find us there. Now, you know I'm not a lover of sports, but of course I must highlight, the Nigerians that are doing so well at the ongoing 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. We have Olarin Oye. There's an Olarin Oye who, let me quickly look up her name. She's won gold for us at the games. Well, I'll come back to her, but we have Rafiatu Lawal, who has also won a gold medal. There's Islamiat Yusuf, who won a bronze medal. There's a Peter. Okay, I have a name now. It's Olarinoye Adenike Adijat. She also won in the weightlifting category. I believe she won a gold. Sorry, that's Edidiong Joseph Umwafia. I don't know if there's more, but, we have these Nigerians who are making us proud, putting us in a positive light, instilling that feeling of pride in us as Nigerians. And, we have to take our positivity where we can get it. So,
that's right.
Yeah, congratulations to them and to us.
And I'm sure there's still more to come because many of the medals have come from weightlifting. And there's still the athletics to go. I know the table tennis team have a bronze match as well. So I'm sure there's still more to come. And regardless of whatever is happening with the system and how many of these athletes cannot exactly lay claim to how the system has helped them. But the Nigerian spirits, despite all odds, we defy all odds to try and make things happen. And kudos must be given to all of these athletes trying in their own capacity to prepare for these major tournaments and also to do the country proud. We are proud of them, and we hope that their story will inspire many young Nigerians, many young athletes who are also trying to climb up the ladder as well. We hope that all of these stories of Toby Amuson, of Brume, and many others that have come before them, and many that will come, and many that will hog the headlines in the next few days. We hope that their story will inspire many, not only in athletics, those that are trying to push themselves through school, those that are at home now due to the ASU strike, trying to, imagine what the future holds for them. But we hope that all of these success stories that we are able to tell once in a while will be enough to inspire the young ones.
Yes, at least you can take soccer, or rather take solace in that, in the fact that Nigerians globally are doing so great, in spite of whatever deficiencies there are within the Nigerian system. All right, we'll take a short break and then we'll come back with our issue of the day. So please stay with us. Don't move a muscle.
Panorama.
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 Panorama. Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
For those who have watched the recent nearly hour-long documentary by BBC Africa Eye, it is, at the risk of being repetitive, an eye-opener and a revelation. As we know, past works by the media behemoth include the viral Sweet Sweet Codeine and Sex for Grades documentaries, both of which spurred action from the Nigerian government. This latest piece of investigative journalism, tagged The Bandit Warlords of Zamfara, is no different from its predecessors, except this time it is triggering an entirely contrasting response from the federal government of Nigeria.
We will get the accusations levied and defenses put up, but first, for the benefit of those who have not watched The Bandit Warlords of Zamfara expose yet, here is the brief provided by the BBC to give an overview. In northwestern Nigeria, ultra-violent bandit gangs raid villages, attack drivers, abduct school children, and kill anyone who resists. Find out who these men are and what they want.
In the video, it goes on to chronicle the activities of these bandit terrorists in Zamfara, account from their victims and surviving relatives, insight into the origins and reasons for the kidnapping and killing spree, sometimes given by the bandits themselves. And in the midst of it all, either implied or overtly stated, is the role or the culpability of the Nigerian government.
Back to that reaction, the spokesperson of the federal government, Mr. Lai Mohammed, said it will sanction the BBC and Trust TV for airing documentaries that allegedly glorify and fuel terrorism and banditry in Nigeria. As it further said, that both platforms, by their actions, have become accomplices to terrorists and bandits in the name of reporting.
For added perspective on the content of the documentary, as well as the government's reception towards it, we'll be joined shortly by another journalist, Daud Olatunji, who you know is a public affairs analyst, as well as a correspondent with the Punch newspaper. We'll be looking at the content of the documentary, nearly 1 hour long. As a matter of fact, I only watched it this morning. It's been out since last week or 2 weeks ago. Yes.
Early last week, I think.
Yes, and recall that this isn't the first time we'll be traveling to Zamfara to examine the state of things there, but it's necessary. Of course, we know that conflicts in the northern region, the northwestern region, and particularly in Zamfara state, because last year Zamfara actually recorded the highest number of killings, done to civilians in the whole country. So Zamfara is definitely a hotspot. And just last week or 2 weeks ago, we looked at the turbaning of a bandit terrorist kingpin. And we examined, the Zamfara state government's role in that, what its implications are on the fight against insecurity and all that. But this time we're revisiting it because of the, as we said, eye-opening content of that documentary.
And one of the bandits that was turbaned featured in that documentary, and he alluded to how he has lost count of the number of people he has killed, especially vigilantes. He said, I don't go with my boys to abduct people or to kidnap people. They only call me when it's time to do the killings. And you find that that kind of personality, that kind of figure is being turbaned, sort of handed over an entire, area to himself as the leader of, I think, the Fulani in that community.
Sarikin
Fulani. So make of that what you will, but we would be, I don't know.
And this is a man that is wanted.
Wanted, yes.
By the Nigerian government. There's even a bounty placed on his head, 5 million naira bounty.
So we'll be examining the content of that documentary. If you have not seen it, you might want to just get on YouTube and check it out. They are maybe not exactly a new perspectives, but it brings some issues that are underreported to the fore, especially how everyone feels that the Fulanis themselves are having a field day because of the body language of the president, of the presidency, while these bandits feel that they are shortchanged in Nigeria. They feel that they hold the shorter end of the stick, and that's why they're marginalized, while the rest of the country believes that that is not the case. But these bandits are saying, we took to guns, we took to the forest because we feel marginalized, and we feel this is the only way we can punish the government, or this is the only way that we can embarrass the government. Because the Jangebe kidnapping especially, they talked about how it was only meant to embarrass the government. The government went at them, the government sent the Nigerian Army and Air Force after them, and they felt, okay, how do we embarrass this government? Because they definitely know that a kidnap of such magnitude will hog the headlines for days, for weeks, especially in the international media.
And it has.
And it did, and it has. Yep. It has continued to do that. So they went ahead and kidnapped those girls, and then they felt this could become a business.
Since then, there have been about 5 other school kidnappings.
Yes. So they felt this could be a business because they claimed that the government paid them 60 million naira.
And that's another interesting point from it, because the government has been vocal about how paying ransom is illegal and wrong. And although the government does not admit, the Zamfara state government does not admit to paying that ransom.
The interesting part again, or the sad part really, is the point when these children were brought back home. And then the government organized the sort of seminar, talking to the girls. And then their parents had to wade in and say, our roads are not safe. Why are you keeping us here? You are not even releasing our children to us. Why are you keeping us here
When
endlessly?
you leave, you'll be escorted by military convoys to protect you. But we're going to leave without any protection.
We're coming to pick our children that have been kidnapped and were just released. And are we going to now fall into the hands of kidnappers again? And before you knew it, gunshots everywhere. And then one of the siblings of the girls that was returned lost his life. Who came to welcome his sister, lost his life in the melee that followed after that. He was hit by a bullet actually. And another part before we get to the conversation that shocked me was a particular bandit warlord who repented and dropped his weapons and all of that. At some point his village was attacked, and then he had to go back again. And then he went back and said, well, I think I have to pick up my weapons again. I've dropped these weapons, but we have ways of getting weapons from the Niger Republic. The borders are porous or does not even exist at all. So there are different perspectives to
And another perspective that struck me, you've pretty much covered it, but another part of it that struck me also is the fact that there were innocent Fulanis, because amidst all this tensions. It's easy to get swept up in it and, of course, want to blame the entire ethnic group. But there are innocent Fulanis, males, females, who are just caught in the crossfire. They know nothing about it. They want it to stop, but they themselves are helpless and they are persecuted, of course, because they are being made to pay for the crimes of, their other ethnic, group members. But we have now in the studio with us another journalist, to talk about this. So we'll be examining this from all angles. Remember, once again, the social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, and WhatsApp. So comment at any juncture that you feel like doing so. Daud Olatunji, good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Daud.
Good morning.
Okay, so Daud, you've watched the documentary.
I did.
What are your thoughts on the content of the documentary?
I had the kind of mixed reaction. Yes, there are so many professional touches there, and then there are areas I also felt somehow. And then, considering the fact that Nigeria is still under that siege, so I want to give kudos to the man Yusuf from
Anka.
Yeah, he did it very good. He started with credibility. He told the whole world that my father was
Well, my mother was Fulani, my father was Hausa.
So that you will not think that he's biased. So he's in the middle, and he's talking about the two tribes. As Yorubas, we believe that everybody is Hausa. We did not know that Hausa is different from Fulani, but later, as we were growing up, we got to know that, in fact, it's like Ijebu and Egba that we grew up to. We grew up to know that if you bring a girl, a lady to your family, and then and you are an Egba person, you are bringing an Ijebu girl, you may be told to get another person. That was then. I don't know if it is. So I want to say that there are some the professional.
So what are the areas where you?
The area where some of these warlords were giving airways to really boast. That is the area I have issues. I also at the towards the end of that documentary, I discovered that some of the shots, and the man said it, were not taken by him, were released. They were the one that made those shots, some of those shots, the terrorists, when they were committing those acts. So he got it either through them or through some, and then he compiled them. And then, as a reporter, he hold us that duty to inform us. And then look at one of the areas, the government was claiming that 48 or 58 people died. And the Fulani people took the man to the grave side and
said about 200.
They counted about 200. So that is the work of journalists. You put the thing in the right perspective.
But Daud, on that particular issue, you have said on this program in the past that it is journalistic responsibility in order not to stoke mass hysteria sometimes to deliberately reduce the numbers of casualties, not paint the exact picture, because when people hear that 200 people have died, people may get angry. So it sounds as though you're contradicting.
No, I'm not. In that circumstance, these people, the Fulani, the victims, knew the number of people they buried. What we are saying is that in a situation where you are letting people know that it's Yoruba people that are killing Hausa, it will make the Yoruba in another area in the north or another area, their life may be at risk. That's where developmental journalism and journalism of responsibility comes in. But this situation, these people were Fulani, and they were the one that buried their dead relatives. They will have communicated to their people. They know the number. So journalists cannot hide that one. But it's just where we know the media effect, that if we release this, that it is Hausa people or Yoruba people that are killing Hausa, may stoke violence and then may put other Yoruba, even in the north or in other areas, put their life at risk. So journalists journalists have responsibility to kind of be mind, so that it will not stoke violence. But what we're saying is that does not say we should not say the truth. You see, that is where government is missing it. Government should see media as its partner in progress, sincerely. The government should do everything to enter into partnership with the media. Let me give you an example. If government has been showing that concern to be partners to the media, let's say trust, and then let's say trust, because according to Kaderi Ahmed, and I also agree with him, he said what BBC African High did, he cannot do it if it is he cannot do it to the UK or even where he's operating. They don't give terrorists airways. They don't give them undue publicity, and there is a kind of a guideline when you want to report. They call it threatened or troubled situation. You can only report, but you would not give the person that airways to talk. Anytime you want to talk, you replace it with something different. But in Nigeria, the clips allow them. No, they spoke confidently. That I see what they did is not bad. So that is where we are picking holes. That as a journalist, they should allow. Another thing, I'm sorry, big guy, is that there is a fundamental question: that do terrorists have voice? Media is the voice of the voiceless. So, should the media give that voice to the terrorists?
So, another question that has this issue of being appropriate or not, like you said, Kaderi Ahmed, released a piece, and interestingly, Kaderi Ahmed is from Zamfara State herself. So, is it an issue of, because does this not show that these guys are reachable? They can be reached. They have cams, they're accessible. So we've seen Gumi in the past, also done something similar, go to their cams. We've even had, so this, he did say that it took him a while, but he eventually was able to locate some of these guys.
That's a journalist who doesn't have the kind of manpower and resources that the government does.
And this also now brings us to the issue of trust. In all of these crimes that we talk about, the government is open in all of this. The government is saying, we're after this terrorist, this is his last known location, this is what we're trying to do. You can see action, on the part of the government. So if government has said, don't give voices to these terrorists, the people believe that someday these terrorists will be captured and then will be, executed or whatever, and we would be able to know all of this. So these are some of the issues. But I think we need to proceed on a commercial break now. So we'll take that commercial break now. And then when we come back, you respond to that issue of trust between government and the people, which seem to also be fueling this, and also the accessibility of these guys. We've seen that time and again. Daily Trust, Trust TV, many of them have gone ahead to interview some of these bandits right in their camps. But let's proceed on that commercial break now. We'll be back.
Panorama.
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 Panorama. Panorama.
Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
A wonderful morning starts with integrity. The integrity starts with you.
Splash FM 106.7.
Honey, must you go?
Babe, you know I must. Besides, you can always video call me.
Hey, what if your battery runs out?
I've got my power bank.
Hey, and when your power bank runs out?
Babe, I've got my laptop.
Okay, wait. What if your data runs out?
Babe, you know we never run out of data.
Never run out of data with Airtel Home Broadband Unlimited Ultra plans. Enjoy unlimited data with no speed cap plus extra data daily, so you never have to worry about running out. Visit www.airtel.com.ng/HBB to get started.
Babe, But I just left the house.
Yes, honey. It's video calling all the way.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
ABR ọ̀rẹ́ àgbẹ̀ àbísúyọ lóko bọ̀pá dé. Wọ́n ní ẹ ò gbọ́dọ̀ kárí ẹ̀ lórí ìgbọ̀ ọ̀tún. Pàápàá àǹfààní tó gbọ́mọ pọ̀n dáadáa. Ilẹ̀ oko mo lọ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ orílẹ̀ ìlúgùn ọlọ́run dá 25,000 ní plọ̀tì báyìí. Ẹ ra plọ̀tì mẹ́ta kẹ́ ẹ gba ìdajì sí i. Wọ́n sì jẹ́ éèkà lẹ́ra ẹ gba plọ̀tì kan sí i. Ilẹ̀ àgbẹ̀ kọ́bápá alábàtà ọ̀pẹ́jì 30,000 per plot. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bára plọ̀tì mẹ́ta ìdajì lẹ́gbà sí i. Wọ́n sì jẹ́ éèkà lẹ́ra ẹ ó gbòdìdì kan sí i. Àwọn onírà ti wà ńlẹ̀ láti ra èrè oko yín. 39 NTA Road Ọ̀gbẹ̀ Abẹ́òkúta 08033706236 08033706236. ABR ọ̀rẹ́ àgbẹ̀ àbísúyọ lóko bọ̀kọ̀ ìgbọ̀tún fáwọn àgbẹ̀. Ọjọ́ 21 oṣù tá a wà yìí làǹfààní yóò pin.
ọjọ́ ti pẹ́ tá a ti ní ìrírí iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná tí kìí ṣe déédéé. owó tá a fi ń ra epo sí jẹnẹrétọ̀ wa ń fi ojoojúmọ́ gòkè sí i. àfi bí ajá tó ń sáré tówó ń jóná. kò sówó a tún fi owó ọ̀hún rajà tó wọ́n. ẹni tó fẹ́ wo tẹlifíṣàn tan fan gbórin aládìídùn lálẹ́ tó wá tún ẹ̀rọ amúnáwá jẹnẹrétọ̀ fún wákàtí 6 lójúmọ́. á ná 1,800 naira fowó epo. a ò fura ní o 12,600 ló máa jẹ́ lọ́sẹ̀. 54,000 naira tán ni lóṣù kan. eléyìí ò wá pọ̀ jù. ṣé bí mo bá fi ọ̀nà kan hàn yín tí àwọn tí wọ́n já sí ń tọ̀ tí wọ́n fi ń gbádùn iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná tí kìí ṣẹ́jú ṣẹ́yìn náà máa tọ̀ ọ́. June 6 Energies Nigeria Limited ilé iṣẹ́ tí ó ti múra tán láti ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún gbogbo ẹni tó fẹ́ gbádùn iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná tí kìí ṣẹ́jú kíkì nípasẹ̀ agbára oòrùn. àṣeyọrí gbogbo ìgbà ló jẹ́ kí June 6 Energies máa tẹ̀síwájú níbi ká bá ní ṣe solar inverter fún ilé iṣẹ́ ńláńlá àti kéréje-kéréje, solar TV, solar freezer, solar street light àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ansarudin House, Quarry Road, Pepsi Abẹ́òkúta 081-2926-7722.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
I like talk radio.
Welcome to your number one talk radio station.
Fasten your seatbelts.
This is your favorite station. Splash FM 106.7.
Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama. Panorama.
Panorama.
Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
Welcome back to Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM. We have Daud Olatunji with us. So I posed 2 questions before we went on that commercial.
The issue of trust and then the issue of accessibility.
Yes.
Let me start with the issue of trust. The government that is having problem. You know, there was a time former President Obasanjo went to that side and met with the leader of Boko Haram before it got to this became worse. And then the leader met with Obasanjo and they talked. Although after 24 hours after, they killed the younger brother to Yusuf. And according to them, later we got that they said he betrayed them. Maybe somebody gave him money, he did not release all those stuff. The Obasanjo has shown to the federal government that you can negotiate. Even developed countries negotiate with terrorists. Because it got to a point that you will not be able, it's a guerrilla war. And it is difficult to fight that war. Because you are not seeing them. They disguise, they hide, and then they strike. But I want to say that from what we have read so far, the Nigerian government knows where these people are hiding. Why they cannot kill them or neutralize them, no, we don't know. One of the reasons they gave to us is that it is not easy for them to storm the place and then bomb the place because of the victims. They are using all these victims as human shield, and they cannot afford to just kill everyone. That is one. Now, the issue of accessibility. These people wanted communication, wanted relevance. And because I'm on here, I won't be able to. If you study the process that led to the attack on Kuje prison, you will shake your head. Because according to Premium Times investigative report, some of the residents told the reporter that few hours before the attack, they saw some strange faces smoking heavily and sitting at strategic places around that center, correctional center. And as a security person or a security personnel, the intelligence should have told them that. In fact, the man said they had to already leave the place because they said something was about to happen. That is one. So the issue of accessibility, government knows how to assess them, but we don't know why government has refused to talk to them. And then, the former president will say that you need to use a carrot, stick and carrot, where you need to use carrot to bait them, and then after luring them, getting whatever you want to get. Look at what American did when they kidnapped that incident should have even kind of given us a kind of an understanding about how this thing works. When this same Boko Haram terrorist kidnapped an American, just one, we all knew now, and they came, rescued their man, just one person. You even learned that they killed the perpetrators, and they so what technology the American government used that the Nigerian government cannot beg, either to borrow and then use it again. So it means something is missing. Although we got to know that the budget being allocated for security every year is also part of the factors that will not make this thing to end, because some people are benefiting from it. Now let's talk about the report by BBC and Daily Trust. We should not misunderstand journalists. We are to report, and we are not working for the government. We are working for the masses. So anything that is happening to the masses, we are under that oath to report it. While reporting it, we must now be responsible, because we are also residents. There are some things we call them obscene that you should not. And all these things, you look at the media effect, that if this thing goes out, that clip, that documentary, I try to think of the damage. There's no damage. It has not done any damage. It has only opened our eyes and then unravel the mysteries. I heard Lola and I think talk about, we have been kind of brainwashed that all Fulani people are bad. Now look at what that clip. It shows that the rich also cries. It means that Fulani people are also getting that share of that criminality. It's not that it is Fulani that is getting the feature all the time. About 200 people, according to that clip, they were Fulani. That settlement was Fulani settlement. And Hausa attack, and then they also attack Hausa. Now, so I think that if government is serious, they should analyze that clip sincerely. Analyze it very well. And now say they can even secretly engage that reporter. That is where they are missing it. Government has so many things to gain by partnering with the media, sincerely. Because there are some things that they are off record. I want to tell you that Yusuf and then the other guy in Trust, if they can get their trust, I don't know the risk they will be put at. Witness protection, maybe, for them? I'm saying that there will be so many off record, sincerely, that they will never dare to read. There was a senator, a late senator in Ogun State. He told us, he said, there are some secrets that he will prefer that those secrets died with him, that he will never open his mouth. Wega, in this world, there are so many secrets that you will never want to open your mouth. Even as journalists, there are some things that they will just call you, say, I just give you this. It's for your personal consumption, so that it will guide you. So if because of lack of information, if you have information, it will regulate the way you talk. Sincerely, it will regulate the way you act. So there are some. That's why when you see some people, when they refuse to talk, it may be because of the information they have. So I want to say that if government is serious with this thing, it needs to partner with journalists, especially those two guys. I don't know how they will do it. Maybe they will, by proxy, so that they need. If they don't have information, they need information, and those guys will have information. This information can lead to the end of this issue. And that clip has also showed that we are looking at it from religious view, all those view. We are forgetting that they have introduced tribal dimension into it. Hausa and Fulani.
I would like us to talk about the issue of ethnic coloration, which you have touched for a bit there, and the resort to self-help. Because part of what that documentary also revealed is that a particular tribe attacks another tribe, and then the tribe that was attacked also now gather and now launch a reprisal, and then it continues like that. You launch a reprisal, you attack, and a number of innocent communities are the ones that are usually caught in this wildfire. So a particular tribe is trying to launch a reprisal and just looks at the next available tribe or settlement of the tribe that attacked them, and launch the attack, burn villages, kill people. So this ethnic coloration, it's Fulani trying to kill Yoruba, it's the Yoruba people attacking the Hausa people. How can we ensure that we see crime for what it is? And how do we ensure that people do not resort to self-help? Because this is what we see here. If you attack my village and then nothing happens, the government is not able to catch the perpetrators, the propensity to then want to resort to self-help, becomes higher. So how do we deal with all of these issues?
Before I answer your question, I had an interaction with Seriki Fulani 2 years ago in Ogun State. He told me, after talking, I was now told that we need to study Fulani tribe. That there is one thing they have. If you attack them and they cannot retaliate, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, when they are dying, they will tell the children, that this village attacked us, killed some of us. So you should just get information, and so that they will also, it talked about the issue of forgiveness. That it is hard for that kind of tribe. That the best thing is don't attack them.
The Kaduna State governor once said something to that effect. He said, if you kill or if you do damage to any Fulani, it's a debt that will be repaid.
That is it.
No matter how long it takes.
Yes, if it can take 100 years. I was told that even 100 years, the grandson will be told, the great-grandson will be told that this Abule or Loko, they will describe, they are still under, what's it called? We still need to pay them a visit. No, now let's react to what Biga said. You see, government should be blamed. Sometimes when the foot drag, it escalates crisis. When a village is attacked, the victims will be looking onto the government to help them. If government, swing into action quickly and then make arrests and all those stuff, it will serve as a balm and calm them. But when they now see that the people that attack them, boasting around, roaming about the city, and then,
I've been turbaned.
They will want to do it. And let me tell you, there is no tribe that does not have that sentiment that they kill. That is why when we are reporting, many times we are mindful of saying Hausa attack Yoruba, Yoruba attack Hausa. Sometimes we try to use the kind of alternative word to, so that an Hausa man in Sokoto reading that report will not believe that in Ogun State, because it is Yoruba state, they are killing my people. And the few Yoruba people that are in that place will also be at risk. So I think the number one factor is government. Government needs to find a way of giving people that perception that we are for you. Second one is nepotism. Any government that is engaging in nepotism will be, stoking that violence, will be fanning the embers of that violence. Because every day other tribes are waking up, they will be having that perception and impression that this tribe is oppressing us. And anytime they have opportunity, they want to eat at them. So I think the issue of nepotism should also be addressed. And the other one is we also need to find a way. That this body, National Orientation Agency, all these NYSC, all these programs, they were put together to reduce that tribal coloration, that you can go to anywhere and succeed. But it's no more happening. I serve in Enugu. As a Yoruba man, I know how I was marginalized. I know how Yoruba people were marginalized, even in Enugu. In our CD, what was it called? CDS. We had the Yoruba man contest for president of that group in 2008. You not imagine that they just came up and told us that all the seats were vacant except that position of president, sincerely. And they contested for other position. He said the presidential seat is no more vacant. And they put an Igbo man. You don't understand. And we Yoruba, as small as we were, we had that impression that leave them. Look at that thing. So, and you want to tell me that we are one in Nigeria? If I'm not that enlightened, and now come back, and now find myself, I'm now in Ogun State, and now find myself in a position, and also my Igbo man also want to, will I not, retaliate? That is the issue. I think there is need for that proper Nigerian orientation. Right. That there is need for us to, all of us, to see ourselves as Nigerians. I don't know how that one will be done. I don't know. But I think if you can achieve that, it will solve a lot of troubles. Some of these crises, if you go to Lafenwa, especially Lafenwa, where Yoruba, Hausa, all this trade, frequently they have issues. Sincerely. Mm-hmm. They have issues. Your Bible will believe that, this is our land. The Hausa people will believe that you have sold this place to me, and I'm the owner. And your Bible people believe that, you cannot have anything here because this place does not belong to you. So I think there is a task for National Orientation Agency and all these agencies to work on. Before this woman died, Dora Quinley, she really tried. Great nation, great people. I've forgotten. Good people, great nation. He tried to, she tried to say that idea of every Nigerian should see Nigeria as one. If we can get a president, right? You can get a president that can work for that it will ensure that despite I'm an Hausa man, I will not give undue, privilege to my kinsmen. Sincerely, Nigeria. So what is really affecting this thing, what is talking, and journalists should be embraced. That's the last thing I think it will also help this. Government should not be far from the media, sincerely. Mm-hmm. And then the issue of subvention. You see, government should not just believe that is responsible to government his own media. It should find a way of giving private media organizations a kind of subvention. It's not to buy them, because journalists, the media are doing their job for them, enlightening people. The media, there are so many issues that will be resolved. I believe that if I were Lai Mohammed, what I would have done is I would have found a way, either by proxy, to see that Yusuf and the trust guy, to see them, and then they can share. We have a way of sharing some piece of information without the person knowing, and there will be trust. Right. I trust bigger. I can say, please, There are so many they will send to me say for your eyes only, and after reading, delete.
Okay,
The person you want to know, there was a time somebody wanted to test me. I didn't know he was coming. He just sent something to me. He said, "I'll read this thing," and then after 5 minutes, delete. You don't understand. And the person did not tell me he was coming. And I read and I deleted.
All right, Daud,
10
I'm
minutes
afraid I'm
after
going
he
to have
came.
to butt in here.
Okay.
We have to go on a commercial break pretty shortly, and there's still some other talking points I'd like you to address from the documentary. Now, away from the federal government's reaction to the documentary and accusing the BBC of giving them a platform, the subject of that documentary actually, and part of the brief, why the BBC explained that it was doing that documentary was to shed more light on something that is underreported so that we can understand it and also use it in the fight against insecurity. Now, there are a couple of observations that I drew from that documentary, and some of them are the anger at the governments on both sides. You have the Fulanis claiming they are marginalized, claiming that their cattle routes have been destroyed, that during the rainy season or after the rainy season, the military hunts them down. You have the Hausa community, the vigilantes too, saying that government is failing to protect them and that government keeps them from retaliating, holds them back from retaliating. You even have civilians also angry, saying that government themselves are also responsible for some of the deaths, for some of the killings. And then there's the subject of ransom. On one hand, the government says we're not paying ransom. In fact, attempts to criminalize the payment of ransom. On the other hand, bandits claim government gave them a whopping 60 million naira. And then there's the fact that, what may have started out as a tribal conflict has turned out to be a lucrative business, and these people see that. In fact, one of the bandits admitted that not only are they making money from it and is it profitable, but the government itself is also making money from it. Now, that's an allegation. We don't know if there's any substance to that. So what do you think we can draw on from the anger at government from all sides, from, the profit-making angle to it? And what lesson do you think we can draw from it to end the fight against insecurity?
It's complicated, Lola. I want to say I'm confused. All the analysis you gave, I agree. They are what I know. That everybody is angry, sincerely, with government. And government is not also happy with us. So, and then, a tribe, like Fulani, they have cattle rearers by profession or by whatever, and then Hausa, none of them are farmers.
Right.
And there is no way they will not clash. Because during the dry season, the Fulani elders want to, graze, what was it called?
Cattle.
Cattle. And then there is nowhere they will do except they go to the farmland of the Hausa or Yoruba people. There will be clash. I think there is a way to do that. In Ogun State, for instance, there is a committee. The commissioner for Agric told me that they meet, whether there is crisis or not, every month. The leaders of the Fulani, Hausa, Yoruba, that they meet and then they talk about it. And my interaction with all of them shows that it is not that they don't have crisis almost every week, but they find a way. For example, if my cattle stray into your farm, and the committee will just say, okay, how much did you lose? And they find a way of, maintaining the balance. If my cattle got lost, and I discovered that one of the farmers, stole it and kill it, or, either in annoyance, the committee will, okay, how much do this thing worth? And then, so they have been settling it before it got. So I think government also needs to find a way. There is no way, even conflict management, you cannot live without conflict. Wife and husband will fight. We will fight. But government should now find a way of setting up a mechanism of conflict resolution. We have so many experts on conflict. So government should not just look other way. They should find a way of engaging them. Nigeria is in need of this conflict manager, sincerely. I should not say they should be taken to the north. Everywhere. I'm afraid now for Ogun State. I must tell you. The rate at which other tribes, I won't mention, the influx of other tribes, I'm afraid. I remember in Shagamu some years ago. Shagamu, because of its nature, I don't know if it still maintains it, a large number of Hausa and Fulani. They cohabit and then they trade together. There was a crisis during Oshoba's regime because it was like a Mageddon. Yes, it was the two sides lost a lot of people. So I'm afraid for Ogun State. There is need for Ogun State government to be proactive now. We are all Nigerians. We can live anywhere. But there is need to sit down, get their leaders. No, some of them they will come through trailer that brings tomato. There must be a kind of check, background check. Look at how they arrested that Boko Haram commander. If not for the mercy of God that DSS got what was it called, that tip, Ijai is, it's more or less center. And then the man was not even a trader, taking the job of security to get information. And the mandate, according to the source, was that he was sent here to build cells, not one cell. And how did they fund it? They kidnap people, they get money, and they buy arms.
Do you think the people being displaced by the conflict in the north are also some of the people contributing to the influx?
Yes, they also arrested another man in what's it called? Adodo. In fact, 2 years ago, I had an interaction with PPRO yesterday. We were now doing a stock. 2014, Boko Haram commander was arrested in a Kara market. Ogun State is a gateway state. And the border is porous. It is not possible when they get to J4, the boundary between Ondo and Ogun, they now say, okay, where Hausa people stay. Where is your officer? It's not possible. They are Nigerian. But there should be a way to know that, okay, in Kolobo, for instance, there is a building in Kolobo where the people, there's nothing wrong. Government should not just close its eyes. There must be a kind of monitoring mechanism. And then on Yoruba too. So if government is proactive, there's no way there will not be crisis. Because it will get to a stage that, for instance, there is no way they will not be buying lambs. You don't understand. And if they have that money, they now buy acres of land and now build houses. And they want to have Bale, they may not call it Bale. They want to have Emir or Seriki. Now, if Yoruba people now say that you cannot have Seriki on our land, there will be crisis. So there is need for government to really engage conflict managers. That is one. Two, I think there also need for government to do a kind of data analysis. Do governments, both federal and state, have our data? For instance, look at that Boko Haram. He left Kaduna. When he left Kaduna to Abeokuta, there must have been a kind of device that would have said that, okay, in Katsina, maybe they had 1,100,000 people. Now, minus one. That must be. It's possible. So that we will know. As he got here, I was asking people yesterday, I said, okay, is it not possible for people to employ Boko Haram commander as a security guard? But I said it's possible. That they have told them, whoever want to employ any security guard, to take the person to the nearest police station, let the DPO do a profiling, do a background check. Where is he coming from? Who are you? All those stuff. Because if there was a magistrate that was slaughtered in Ladeni by his maid, you don't understand. So,
right. Wasn't the NIN supposed to solve some? Okay, let me hold off there. We have to go on a commercial break. But what I wanted to ask, which I've already sort of preempted, is the NIN is supposed to solve some of this lack of data or this dearth of data that we have. But we'll hold off on Daud's answer to that, as well as our conclusion to this and your reaction. Don't worry, we'll get to your calls, your comments on social media right after this break. Please stay with us.
Panorama.
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 Panorama. Panorama.
Panorama on Splash 106.7 FM.
We educate, That's why we are respected. We inform. That's why we are loved. More music. We are the best. The Integrity Station. Splash, splash.
106.7.
Ṣé oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ ni ọ́, oníṣòwò àbí òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba? Ìwọ náà ò ṣe darapọ̀ láti fi òní múra sílẹ̀ di ọjọ́ ọ̀la rẹ nítorí iléeṣẹ́ First January Agro Investment Limited wọ́n ti ṣetán láti bá ìwọ náà múra ọjọ́ ọ̀la rẹ sílẹ̀. Ìwọ ṣáà ti rí i dájú pé ó pẹ̀lú ọ̀kan nínú àwọn àgbẹ̀ tí wọ́n fẹ́ gbin igi ọ̀pẹ fún lóṣù September ọdún yìí. Éèkà kan ilẹ̀ 850,000 naira ni. Yàtọ̀ sí pé ìwọ ló ní éèkà kan yẹn. Igi ọ̀pẹ 100 ló máa wà lórí ẹ̀. Fún odindi ọdún 5 gbáko ni wàá fi máa gba ìdá 5 iye owó tí o fi gbin igi ọ̀pẹ ọ̀hún. Tó bá ti wá di ọdún kẹfà, wọ́n fa oko ọ̀pẹ éèkà kan rẹ lé ọ lọ́wọ́ lọ́dọọdún. Epo ìsebẹ̀ tí ọ̀pẹ yìí máa fún ẹ á tó 750 litres. Ó kéré tán wàá máa rí 450,000 naira lórí epo nìkan lọ́dọọdún. Pé 081-6564-6535.
Do you feel the need to take your business to greater heights, grow your business and services beyond your wildest imagination, and have your business and services get to your targeted audience in good time? Worry no more. The Integrity Station, Splash FM 106.7, has got all it takes to put your business and services on the map and give you the desired reach that you need. With our affordable rates, amazing quality programs, you can rest assured that we will take your business to greater heights. Do business with us today. For inquiries and advert placements, outdoor coverage, events, and many more, contact us via telephone on 0811-249-0577 or visit our corporate office, Kilometer 1, MKO Abiola Way, Abetu Junction, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Splash FM 106.7, Abeokuta, the Integrity Station. We always have you covered.
àṣeyọrí gan làgbà iṣẹ́ gbogbo aláṣeyọrí ayọ̀ aláṣeyọrí classroom and property limited lónìí ọ̀pọ̀ ilẹ̀ wọn ti di wámútìrẹ́ báyìí lórí owó tí kò ga ju ara lọ randa extension hitop máwùkọ́ àti kọ̀bàpẹ́ 100,000 ní plọ̀tì yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ni lóko wọn ti di ọ̀pọ̀ yùkẹ́ mo lọ́kẹ̀dẹ̀ 25,000 ní plọ̀tì kan bẹ̀ kọ̀bàpẹ́ alábàtà òṣèlè 30,000 ní plọ̀tì ẹ̀ra plọ̀tì mẹ́ta kẹ́ẹ̀gbá ìdajì sí bó sì jẹ́ ékalẹ̀ra odidi lẹ́gbàsí pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àǹfààní tẹ́ẹ̀jẹ̀ lórí ilé oko wọn torí pé àwọn onírà àti onímọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ ti wà níkàlẹ̀ láti là ń lọ́yẹ̀ lórí ìkan tẹ́ gbìn sí ilé oko tẹ́ bára 4 mọ̀túndì abíọ́láwé ilégoro daily express furniture ni wọ́n wà ọlọ́ṣogbo abẹ́òkúta Ògùn state 08033086557 08033086557 lóòótọ́ àṣeyọrí gan làgbà iṣẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ ń bá ń bá wa ná dandan ní kẹ́ láṣeyọrí ayọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ tiwa ọjọ́ 21 oṣù tá a wà yìí làǹfààní ìpín.
Ìgbà tí a gbádùn rẹpẹtẹ iléeṣẹ́ ẹlòkàsàbù ló kó wa lọ sí ìlú ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ àlọ́ lọ́wọ́ dáwà yìí ó ìgbádùn rẹpẹtẹ ló yẹ wá bá wa lọ.
London Bliss ní tọ̀tẹ̀ yìí o iléeṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú àwọn ìgbádùn lọ́lọ́kan òjọ̀kan iléeṣẹ́ Elucas Travels and Tours ẹkú timothy wa bẹ́ẹ̀ wípé ìgbádùn ti yé wa lógún ìlú London là ń lọ Bliss ká lọ jẹ ìgbádùn. oṣù October ọdún 2022 yìí la fi máa rìnrìn àjò yìí fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ lè kàn sí ọ́fíìsì wa tó wà ní kìlómítà 1 Abetu Junction Abiola Way Abẹ́òkúta nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn telephone 09099977001 àti 07039301361 ìgbádùn aláìlópin ní tọ̀tẹ̀ yìí ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ rìnrìn àjò.
Iléeṣẹ́ IAS tó dé o láti fẹ̀rí pẹ̀kẹ́ ogún oníbàárà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni ò sí ń bẹ̀. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ gbọ́ròyìn ní January 30 ọdún 2022. Ẹni tí ò lè rìn ní kí wọ́n gbé òun. Irọ́ ni, eré ni, àwàdà ni níwájú ọba aládé. bí mọ́zọ̀. lọ́jọ́ yẹn làwọn oníbàárà bá sọ̀rọ̀ sókè pé iléeṣẹ́ IAS yàtọ̀ jù. kì í mọ̀ ṣeré. IAS super mega promo. oníbàárà mẹ́ta ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ló máa fi kẹ̀kẹ́ márúwá. oníbàárà mẹ́ta míì á tún fi taxi micra. mẹ́ta ṣèfàjẹ́. láti pẹ̀lú kópa. darapọ̀ mọ́ ríra ilẹ̀. kó o sanwó òlàjì. wàá tún wá fi oṣù mẹ́ta gbáko. ṣèyí tó kù ní san díẹ̀díẹ̀. o lè ra queen city. àṣìpa ọ̀bàdà ọkọ̀ Abẹ́òkúta. 300,000 naira ní plọ̀tì kan. tàbí profit city orílẹ̀ ajé. 200,000 naira ní plọ̀tì kan. pé 08092944848. ẹgbà tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì oríire tiyín. July 31st àǹfààní ìsanwó òlàjì máa dópin o.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
I like talk radio.
Welcome to your number one talk radio station.
Fasten your seatbelts.
And we're back on the Integrity Station, Splash 106.7 FM. It's 9:02 a.m. And our issue of the day this morning is on the documentary, The Bandit Warlords of Zamfara, done by BBC Africa Eye. It's nearly 1 hour long, and it's on YouTube if you want to watch. And it provides some insights into the activities of these bandits, why they do what they do, what enables them to do what they do, the cost of what they do, and so on and so forth. We've talked extensively about it. Daud is still here in the studio with us. He's the correspondent with the Punch newspaper as well as a public affairs analyst. He's going to give us his concluding thoughts, finish off, his earlier thought from before we went on that break, and then we'll get to you on the full line. So Daud, over to you. I was asking you about the NIN. Shouldn't that help solve some of the data deficit with the government?
It should, but if I observe that there are some people, when they called me, I know, like for instance, you are Lola.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised that when you call me and that SIM can bring another name. Very common, sincerely. And when you ask them that, are you Tunde Adegwege? I said no, but this true caller is bringing. So I think there are issues. People are, I don't know how to playing around that registration, and I don't know how they are doing it. So everything there is Nigerian factor in everything. So there is need for Nigerian government, if they want to get rid of this insecurity, they should take it seriously, the issue of data.
Okay.
Seriously.
On that note, we'll get to you now. You've heard a lot. It's time for you to let us know what you think. 0704 400 1067, 0705 050 1067, 0817 444 1067. I'm going to use my very common line. You have 1 minute. 1 minute each, please, so we can accommodate as many calls as possible. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
What is your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ogun. My name is Daud.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I think on my part, the intelligence activities we are putting up in this country is very important. And why do I say that? When you arrest the warlord, probably Boko Haram, whatever, is there any intel that is carried out about him? Is there any way you have used him to get orders? Is there any way you have used his presence around the personnel to get vital information that will give us better results to get to others? But the question is no. All you see is probably in the next 1 or 2 months as a kid, something has happened to him. They want to take him to the hospital and he's their nose. That's one. Then number 2, if a foreign country can put up such a powerful document to give us reason why, how, when and where, then what's happening to us? What are we doing in this country? I think we need to do, the government should be very, very serious. I think everything we need to do is to please. Our government should take our life very serious. But if they refuse to do that, we continue to have what we're having. The man at the studio has said it all. You can't take crisis out of our world. It's part of life. But how well are we able to manage this crisis?
Right.
Well, I pray God helps us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 0704 400 1067 0817 444 1067. Remember to try to keep your thoughts to 1 minute. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What is your name?
Tajuddin from Agbon.
Tajuddin, thank you for calling. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to believe the Yoruba say pé a lè fi tipá mú ọmọdé lọ sódò, a lè fi tipá fún lómi. I want to believe that the government, all we lack is the political will and determination to cope all these things. Because looking at the documentary itself, I don't want to, personally, this is my personal opinion, I don't want to believe that our security agent does not have this information. I don't want to believe it. Because I don't think an individual or some set of individuals can be more powerful than the government, can have access to these kinds of information than the government. I don't think an individual can have the funds to carry out this kind of researches than the government. So it now comes down to the will and determination to fight insecurity in this country.
Okay.
So where does the government, where do we put this kind of situation?
Thank you very much, Tajuddin, for your contribution. All right, we'll take one more call and then we'll switch to social media. If we have more time, we'll take maybe another one or two more calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
What is your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Solomon. I'm calling from Abeokuta.
Solomon, thank you for calling. Go ahead. You have 1 minute.
Yeah. This administration, they are not sincere to the country and to themselves too. From the beginning, everything I've been hearing from this administration are just lies. But I like talking about what I know. You know, when this administration came into power in 2015, there was this guy that posted something on Facebook saying that Buhari has been the president of elders for 20 years before he came back now as our president. He has been their president for 20 years. And they gave him agendas that he was even slow as at that time.
That is speculation. That is speculation, Solomon.
See, the country, what we are witnessing today, it is not only Fulani that tells stories like that. It is told all over the world. When your tribe is being killed or maltreated, they pass on the stories. It's not only them. But in a situation whereby a particular, at this age, somebody will say because somebody was killed and you are coming for revenge. We have been, in this government, we have been hearing of revenge.
Right.
All right.
Solomon, I'm afraid we have to let you go. You're past the 1 minute mark. We appreciate your contribution. Nevertheless.
And I don't think that the reason why we're bringing this to the fore is not so that we continue to talk about ethnic colorations again. That's not.
I think Solomon was saying that it is outdated to insist on revenge as a tribal heritage. And that's a valid point. The part, he got confused was where he was talking about, the president. That's speculation. Hello? Nicholas, you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
I will be useless. Everywhere in the world, when you use dogs and baboons to win election, you would share the government with dogs and baboons. It's simple. Then, in political science, Daud, there are episodes of politics know that there's what they call intractable conflicts. Hutus, Tutsis, Ijo Ishekiri, Israel, Palestine, Israel, Modakeke. So that's what that guy said. There's nobody that the grandfather did not tell anything. Nobody should not feel that their own grandfather was wiser and had a monopoly of knowledge. And I sat in Telemu in Oshu.
Okay.
I almost died too. But there are good people that you must have met in Enugu. The way I saw some good people.
I enjoyed my stay.
Right.
I enjoy my stay,
All
Nicholas.
right,
Sincerely, I
thank you.
enjoyed
Thank
it.
you very much, Nicholas. Let's head
Thank you,
to the
Nicola.
social media comments.
We have quite a number of comments here on WhatsApp. Okay, let me start with this one. Nicholas has called, so I'll just skip his comment here. Ibukunoluwa from Abeokuta says, "Good morning, guys in the studio. The life of those journalists will be at stake if the federal government engages them. Trust is a big issue anybody can have with a government." Thank you, Ibukunoluwa. Good morning, Boyega. Good morning, Mr. Daud. Though I'm yet to watch that video, but I can tell you tentatively that Zamfara has been facing security challenges for long, even during the regime of Abdulaziz Yari. I can remember in 2019, while I was serving, I went to Bini Mogaji to visit a co-core member to settle dispute between him and the people of that community. Not more than 5 minutes after I left there, around 10 a.m., the local government was attacked by suspected bandits. If not for the will of Allah, I would have been a victim. Then around 12 midday, come and see how human being is soaked with blood when they brought them to FMC Guso. Funny enough, the story have to be minimized in terms of content. So a lot do happen there that during my time there, I can't even say on air. Yeah, that's from Idias and saying, "Father, I saw a lot there which no one can bear air from me, because if I open such, only Allah knows what will happen to me and what it will cost in the society." What I just have to say is Yoruba, we say, carry. I'm trying to make a sense of the Yoruba he puts here. Carry care.
Maybe come back to it later.
That's beyond me. Ijala Wali from Oloshu State said, "Concerning the issue of revenge, I think first solution should be justice from the government and the people. And we all should have spirit of forgiveness." Dr. Opowo Ishegu said, "Trust, firm belief in the reliability, truth, or ability of someone or something. Relations have to be built on trust. Unfortunately, the country lacks this virtue. Nepotism, another major cause of insecurity, as highlighted by our guest, where most of the security chiefs are from one part of the country. This can demotivate and cause mistrust among the rank and file of the security agencies. Though security is everybody's business, it's either we live in peace or in pieces. God bless Nigeria." Well, this is one issue that has been bandied around a lot, but you might want to do some research to, really look at it, in proper perspective. Olatunji Kende from Obantogo says, "Good morning to you all in the studio. In all this, Daud, don't you think the words of the late Obadiah may laugh here before his demands should be taken more seriously by all of us in this country, that there are people in the present government who are commanders sponsoring all of this ulabalu? I just pray this doesn't consume us as a country soonest. Amen." That's a prayer. Someone out of their passion and wanting to end banditry and other terrorist activities in the country went ahead risking their lives and present to us information that, if well processed, could put an end to insecurity in the land, but ended up being persecuted. Nigerians should stand in solidarity with the media outfits in ensuring that they are not painted in bad light. May God have mercy. Surakat Abdulhamid Abiodun there. Finally, it seems complacency will end the Nigeria entity. I think the National Assembly should pass a bill for an act to establish a conflict agency. Kudos to the analyst from Omoshebi Omoluluba Mdede from Ikere Ekiti State. I'm certain he's listening via some of the online platforms, which we tell you about all the time.
That's right. On to Twitter, Ajalayemi has a lot to say. He says, "This issue about Zamfara bandits is as complex as some of us have been saying, but people insist it's as simple as Fulanis want to kill Yorubas or Muslims want to kill Christians. The documentary has now shown the complexity of the whole scenario. If the terrorists say they did Jengebe kidnap to get media attention, and now BBC is giving them a platform, is that not technically aiding the terrorists to achieve their aims? In that sense, one cannot fault Alhaji Lai Mohammed. However, the government is chasing ringworm while leaving leprosy. They should focus on ending the insecurity. If people say Buhari is doing Fulanization and the Fulanis are saying the federal government is bombing them, someone somewhere is lying to Nigerians. I think the media should be explicitly clear about which government made promises to the bandits and paid ransom. Zamfara government is different from federal government. My observation is that Zamfara government is the one who coddled these terrorists till they metastasized. The best song for the documentary would have been the Lagbaja song from 2020. Me and you no be enemy. We're supposed to be family. Politicians have convinced the southern Nigerian people with fake news, and that documentary has shown this clearly. Oga Daud is right. We saw how GJ government hounded Ahmed Salkida, now of Human Angle, of Humango on his various expose on Boko Haram instead of working with him to rid the country of this menace. Finally, he says people are saying that the government should storm the enclave of the terrorists. No one is talking about the sophisticated weapons that they have, especially from the war in Libya and Sudan. We have concentrated on the northeast. Now there is no money. Next up on Twitter is Akorede Camille, who says, when you look at the nature of the job that journalists do, I think everyone there will agree with me that there's a bond between the terrorist and the reporter. Globally, a reporter is viewed as the terrorist's best friend. The reason is simple. Though unwittingly, the reporter, in the course of carrying out their reportorial duties, serve the purpose of the terrorist. The aim of the terrorist is to instill fear in the public. Now, the question is, what would Daud have done differently in his own reportage if he found himself in the enclave of these terrorists? Up next on Twitter is Critical Scorpio, who says, what secret can you keep from the Kankara boy who was kidnapped or the Chibok girl who was defiled? May God forgive all of us. Secrets indeed. Ambassador 013 says it was Professor Issa Pantami that told us that the police should do their jobs using SIM card registration portal to arrest the terrorists, and that duty is not that of his ministry. Where do we go from here? Otumba Njala says the current leadership of this country lacks the political will to clean up the insecurity mess we found ourselves in because of corruption. We will not make such mistake again voting APC in 2023. Edo Abayomi says, good morning, gentlemen. I'd like to ask what exactly worked for these foreign journalists that our local outfits lack. I just knew someone said I was going to bring our local journalists into it. On Facebook, Ifeanyi Wochuku, okay, that's Nicola, so I'll skip that one. Akorede Camille Adebayo says, when you look at the nature of the job that journalists do, I think everyone there will agree with me that there is a bond between the terrorist and the reporter. Okay, you've already sent this on Twitter as well, so I'll skip it. Prince Iyanu Fajenyo Atobatele says, good morning, Mr. Gwega and Ms. Lola. Good morning to Mr. Daud. As regards the issue of terrorists, first, our security architecture is bad. Our government do not take action on time. Our security agencies are not proactive enough to tackle these terrorists. Let me also let you know that the Fulani and Hausa are not the only terrorists we have. Even some Yorubas, Igbos are also terrorists, but most of them disguised. How come kidnapping rate is also high in the south? My people, we all need to sit tight. The government and security agencies have a lot of work to do. Let me stop here for now. Sheriff Adeola Ogundikpe says, good morning. It is high time we stick to the advice of the security agencies. They have told us that whoever that wishes to employ security should inform them for proper investigation. I think there should be proper documentation for migration in this country. All right. Thank you, everyone. We have...
All right. I've gotten back to the Yoruba now because I refuse to be defeated. And Ilias was saying,
how brave of you.
Carry kiakpe aori, amamu emi enigun. It's
a good thing you were the one on that end, because I definitely would have given up.
I think I should
as soon as I saw that. But we have long overstayed on our issue of the day. It was necessary. Apologies. There were quite a few persistent callers. We appreciate that you wanted so much to let us know what you think. But unfortunately, we have to get to the papers. Don't forget, we still have from the pages, even though now it's about 10 minutes. We'll still have Daud here, so we'll try and do some sort of hurried analysis. On Vanguard, PDP crisis, Wike's group lists demands as elders meet. 6 single term from Atiku. Are you stepping down as chairman? NAS leadership, others. Board of Trustees, NWC to meet tomorrow. PDP's problem is not as bad as APC's Muslim issue, Walid Jibrin says. CBN sources say that NNPC average monthly remittance falls by over 1,000%. NDDC intrigues as South-South heavyweight battle for control. JAM says we do not fix cutoff marks. Bandits block Enugu Port Harcourt Highway, burn army van, abduct scores of passengers. Monkeypox is close. Well, it's here already, actually. Lasut confirms Vanguard story, and I think we also talked about it being reported here in Ogun State. Says no cause for alarm. Minister attacks federal government's plan to impose 5% tax on call text data. Voters register. Lagos leads as INEC registers 12.29 million voters, suspends its exercise. Capacity to lead. Dati Ahmed tackles Okowa over Obi. ASU extends its strike by 4 weeks. Another 4 weeks for our students to remain at home when they could be schooling. Deregulation, we haven't removed subsidy, federal government says. And finally, economic downturn forces Nigerians to abandon 5.7 million bank accounts.
Similar stories here. ASU extends 168 days strike by 4 weeks. Parents, students kick with the riders. We don't trust you again, parents tell ASU. Nance wants education minister sacked. PDP BOT meets tomorrow over Atiku Wike rift. FG still subsidizing petrol price, blames marketers for hike. 50 feared abducted in Kaduna, 10 in Taraba and Bauchi. Gani Adams alarm how we're dealing with security threat. Police, Amotekun hunters. First grains ship leaves Ukraine under Russia deal. Special report as FCT urban mass transit system collapses. Commuters groan under difficult conditions. Well, let's check out one or two stories now. Let's start with this one. FG still subsidizing petrol price, blames marketers for hike. Daud, what's your thought here?
I've heard them. Atigo. Because they cannot continue confusing us. If you heard them saying that, yes, Nigerians need to be patient with them, they want to remove subsidy, all those stuff. So if the minister now came around and told us that they have not, we have heard them.
But the prices have changed nonetheless. There's been an increase.
Yes.
We cannot deny what our eyes can see and what we're buying
That,
at the
so you
retail
cannot,
outlets.
I don't want us to allow ourselves to be confused. They are selling the what's called fuel rate of a 180, 179, 190. So and they are still saying that if the subsidy is still there, we should continue. We should have continued enjoying this what's it called, that subsidy by buying the fuel for
165.
165. So for them to have jack it up, they say Kosoro.
But isn't that concerning because these subsidy payments are actually causing us to be in debt?
Yes.
And so if we're paying subsidy, a subsidy that is causing us to owe money, causing us to spend all our revenue on it, and at the same time we're not enjoying the benefits of the subsidy, doesn't that mean things don't add up?
Let's just enjoy. Baba said he's eager to go. Let's just endure till next administration and know if we get the truth and the facts.
Okay, let's talk now about the ASU strike that has now been extended by 4 weeks. As disclosed by the president of the union, Professor Emmanuel Oshodeke, who said the decision was to give the government enough time to resolve all outstanding issues with the lecturers. What are your thoughts?
The problem has been created. I engaged some student undergraduates yesterday. One of them said he has lost interest in education. He said he has spent close to 5 years. So 7 years for 4 years course. And most of them are now smart. They have started engaging themselves in some vocational skill, all those stuff. So it's going to be kind of a blessing in disguise. We just begged ASU. That they say. The government continues saying there is positive of all those stuff. And the way they are looking at this government, they don't look at their side. They should show mercy, and then, yes, what they are fighting for is genuine. Because you can't say you continue running university without adequate equipment, all those stuff. But they have to look at the two evils now. Which one is lesser? I think the lesser is to
the president
engage people.
2 weeks, a sort of
marching order
to the Minister of Education.
Last week was the deadline now. 2 weeks.
Was it?
The impression that the man was not on hospital, that he mission why the strike is lingering. That's all. It's not that 2 weeks he got to solve the. Let's just continue enduring Baba, and may he sail.
It seems like that's your answer to every issue.
He had told us. He said he's eager. You also read it. He said he was eager, or is eager to go. So if somebody says he's not enjoying the seat, that's what it meant.
So you are saying we should roll over our complaints until the next administration,
we should
even
just
though we don't
continue
know who will
enduring.
win.
No, we continue engaging and then endure. That he said he's eager to go. If somebody says Is somebody? I'm eager to live somewhere. You know, he's tired. He's overwhelmed.
Let's look at this story as well. Gani Adams' alarm, how we're dealing with security threats, page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, and that's according to the police. Amotekun hunters. Yesterday we read that Gani Adams said that many of these bandits and terrorists have taken spaces in our forest and in several southwest states. But I know the Lagos State Commissioner of Police met with several area commanders yesterday in Lagos, and Lagos is saying, well, we're ready, there are no challenges. But do you think that all of the security agencies are doing their best, you know, in the wake of all of the revelations, especially what happened in Abeokuta a few days ago?
They are doing their best inside. They are human beings, and they can only work with what the facility you provided. So, and they are also human beings. They also have families. In fact, a security chief told me, I think it was not last, I said he regularly advised his, what was it called, his boys that, come, don't put your life in danger. Do whatever you can and then leave the rest. He said, a security chief told me that he has to motivate these people. They are human beings. They've lost hope. That because when you compare these bandits, what they are carrying with the police, before they leave the station, they will count the what was it called? The bullet. They will count it, and when they are returning the rifle, they must sign that okay, we went out with 3. These are, but these terrorists, you know, they have them enough. So I think they are trying. I would just advise Are Nonkakanfo. It should go beyond rhetorics. It should help. If he has that information, supply the security. We don't need all these things on the pages of the newspaper. If he has confirmed that they are in Pharaoh Forest, get the address, tell the police security.
On WhatsApp, even NNPC is not selling at 165 naira. This government doesn't know how to coordinate their lies. What a shame. That's from Surakata Bilamid Abiodun.
You'll be our only caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Folarin from Really.
Folarin, you have 1 minute.
Very short and brief, yes. 2 reports outrightly. Yeah, the number one is this, as in the strike, as in ASU. I think it has gotten to a stage whereby we need to be very frank here, you understand now. If ASU is clamoring for just 2, what's it called, 2 occasions now, you understand? I think they should take one while government take one. You understand? At least if ASU truly they have kids out of those children that are home too, they should checkmate their children now. What is happening to them? Are they just sitting at home eating, or they are doing vocational things? They should just look at what is happening in different homes.
Right.
So checkmate with their own. You understand? That's about that. The second one.
Ooh, I'm afraid we can't get into the second one. Thank you for Larry Gwalan. We appreciate it.
Prince Comrade Ademola Ajani saying it's high time the FG rise to its responsibility in terms of providing adequate security measures in the country, but I won't be able to take the rest of that.
Otubaye Janla says Buhari promised Nigerians refineries before resuming office. Please help me ask him where our refineries. The economy of this country is nosediving.
William said the BBC documentary simply shows that the government and indigenous media in synergy to keep the entire country uninformed of the true causes of the numerous problems in the country. What an irony.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Daud Olatunji, correspondent of The Punch and public affairs analyst, for joining us.
Thank you so much. They said what works for foreign journalists that and does not work for us. There are so many things.
We can't get into them. Maybe on International Press Day or something like that. We'll get into that. All right. In the meantime, you'll catch us on the other side of 9:30 when we'll be having officials from the Ogun State Health Insurance Agency to talk about health insurance for all Ogun State residents. So join us then. We'll be back.